Have you guys ever wondered what it's like to have a crocodile as a pet? Well, today, unfortunately, we're not going to find out, but I am going to show you the next best thing if you live somewhere like Sydney, Australia, where you can't have a crocodile as a pet, probably for good reason. First up, we got the Mertens water monitor. So to show you guys exactly what I mean by the next best thing to a crocodile, one, she's a water monitor, and wait till you see this food response. Here I've got her some freshwater barramundi, and it's one of her absolutely favorite meals. She's already seen me here with her tongs. They're such smart animals. She's waiting at the door, ready for it to come open. And hopefully she'll put on a show for us. It's about 32 degrees here in Sydney. Yeah, she's already going absolutely berserk. Let's get a piece ready to go. Let's get this show on the road, eh? Oh, she got me finger. Oh, Misty, come on. There you go, she's got her first bit of food. She wants to get away from us, make sure we don't steal it. How was that food response? That's actually never happened before. She jumped up too high and just nicked my finger. Just nicked my finger with the edge of her tooth, just because she was going so berserk. Probably my fault for trying to get her to put on a show. She's disappeared now. There's two of us here filming, so she's not used to that. She's only used to having me here, so she was a bit weary. But once she gets that first piece down, we'll get her back out. We'll see if we can get her swimming and jumping and yeah, put on a bit more of a show for you guys. Oh yeah, cheeky little thing. We're not doing well. Got bitten by a diamond python this week. My own pet today. All right, she's about to come back around. Oh, she's going for the seafood platter straight off the plate. Oh yeah, little bugger. Back in there, cheeky girl. Right, we'll see if we can get her in the pond now. You got to be careful. If she went through here, like, there's a massive dam there. She'd just disappear straight away. But she doesn't like when I've got this camera in her face, because I've sort of got two arms coming out at her. So she's like, oh, food, camera, it puts her off. We'll see if we can get her to jump into a pond and show you guys how she moves around in the water. I always feed all of my goannas, all my monitor lizards, a varied diet. So today we're going to be feeding Mertens water monitor, sand monitor, and a lace monitor that I've got inside. So to start off, we've obviously got her barramundi. Every time I feed these animals, I'll switch a different food source. I'll go yabbies or crayfish, if whatever you want to call them. Barramundi, we go whole prey items, rats, quails, absolute garbage guts. This thing eats better than me. She'll even get seafood marinara some days. See if we can get her to pop up and come into the pond. So I've cut these barramundi pieces up quite small. Sometimes I'll get a week-old quail, and that's fantastic enrichment. She's got to break it down, work it down, which we'll see a little bit with some quails or chicks that I've got for the lace monitor soon. Bigger than a mouse, so she has to sit there pressing it against the rocks, ripping it apart. It'll take her a good half an hour to rip that prey item apart to be able to get it down, which is going to grow her muscles. It's enrichment. It gives her something to do, keeps the brain functioning, which is absolutely imperative with our captive animals. That's another great thing about the crayfish and yabbies. It's a live item which is in the water. You can submerge a log, something for the yabbies to hide, and she goes underwater. These animals can stay underwater for an incredible amount of time. When I used to have her in an aquarium, you could see her sticking her tongue all throughout the logs trying to pick out those yabbies until she found them. Bang, get that down. Fantastic enrichment. But yeah, me talking and holding this camera in her face is really putting her off. She's getting shy now. She's got cold feet. She's ducked in under a rock. She's just sticking her head out and taking the food as I show it to her. But I'll show you guys a bit of her enclosure. So she's got one pond here, and we're starting to get into summer. So I'm going to want to supply her with another pond. And see down there, there's a much larger pond. So we'll be taking out this hollow rock here, this universal rock. That'll come out. Second pond will come in. So almost the whole bottom of this enclosure will be ponds. Like the name suggests, Merten's water monitor. They like spending time in the water. Also throughout summer, as I get time, I've got a bigger enclosure here, which I do want to fit out for her in this enclosure. Lace monitor will probably go in here, but you guys will know about all that when it's happening. There'll be multiple videos. So yeah, we've got 2 ponds there. We've got this plant, which I chucked in a while ago, and it surprisingly just keeps growing. I don't know how, I don't tend for it. Throughout winter, she sleeps in this pond. We got the heated pond. It's set at 30 degrees all year round. She sleeps in that at night. But now that we're starting to warm up, she'll actually dig a burrow underneath here, or she likes to sleep in this hollow log here, which is absolutely perfect. It's perfect enough for her to fit in, that she feels safe, comfortable, and predators can't get her, and I can't hassle her. We come up, up, up. We've got a basking platform, which is perfect for the sun. You can feel the heat on it. And you look up there, we got our hot box with 2 heat lights. In summer, to be honest, she doesn't really touch that at all. She'll use the natural sun, even though it's a little bit cooler. She likes to feel that natural sun, get that real UV into her body. But wintertime when it's cold, she'll absolutely love that hot box. But surprisingly, she still comes out and lays in the winter sun. Pretty incredible. We've got 3 more pieces here, and she's starting to stick her head back out. I'll creep around the other side and we can get these last bits into her guts and move on to the sand monitor. Like just on her. Alright, she's been a little camera shy. We'll spoil her. We'll leave her last 3 pieces here. She can stick out from under a rock, pinch that without us hassling her. Let's move on to Slash. Next up, we're onto our sand monitor. Now, I released a video building this enclosure for her just a couple weeks ago. Last week, she started eating. She's become more comfortable outside. She's coming out when the sun comes up. She's climbing up into a basking spot. She's digging. I've taken the pond out just for the purpose of this video, make it a little bit easier for me to get in there. But have a look at her there. She's already sussing out what's going on. Depending on her mood, especially when being loud, sticking the camera in her face, she'll run down into a burrow which we created. So there's an underground tunnel, which, try not to spook her because we want to get her to eat. There's an underground tunnel down under these sandstone. I'll give you a better look after we feed her, but that goes down into her box there, and she absolutely loves it. Let's get these rats into it and we can have a better look. In the wild, small mammals are a big food source for these sand monitors. Bugs, insects, birds, quails, eggs. To be honest, Goannas will eat. Goannas, monitor lizards, they'll eat anything they can get their little lips around. Crusher, you go away. You wanna go away, Mr. Crush? Let's see how cooperative Miss Slash wants to be today. Worst case, I think I got a couple clips of her eating some quails earlier in the week. You can see there, this is probably the perfect size prey item for her. It didn't take too much to get it down, but you could see how she'd still rub her face on that rock just to move the food source around a little bit, just to get it down the gob a bit easier. Head first, always the easier way. Normally she's too psycho to care which way it goes down, but she was smart that time. We'll see if Crazy wants one more. There you go, down easy as buggery. Very underrated lizard, the sand monitor. Sand goanna, racehorse goanna. The speed on these guys is incredible, hence the name Varanus gouldi. It's a million different names, but beautiful, beautiful lizard. Now for anyone that hasn't seen, I'll show you guys a little bit of a closer look at this enclosure. So here's our box I was talking about earlier. So there's an underground pipe which pops out around here. I'll come around and zoom in with it in my phone. So underneath these sandstones, oh, maybe I can just show you with the GoPro. Underneath those sandstone blocks there's a pipe which goes down into that box, and that's insulated, it's hidden from the weather and safe as houses. And I thought that would predominantly be her burrow, but she gave me an absolute heart attack last week. I check on her quite often throughout the day, and I came out at night just to make sure she was in a box, and guess what? She wasn't. There was a hole in this corner of the enclosure, and I'm like, oh, maybe she's down there. I started digging, couldn't find her, and I'm like, she's gone. I'm gonna have to wait till tomorrow. I'm sitting inside and I just couldn't stop thinking about it. I'm like, I gotta go out and dig again. Anyway, I started pulling everything out of the enclosure. She had dug from this side of the enclosure a nice deep strong burrow all the way to the other side. You can see where I dug up, there was a big hole down there, and I gave her a fright and she popped out that side. But there's still a burrow under there. All she's got to do is uncover it. That's one thing I will recommend to you guys. Putting the soil in for these lizards, if you can't get access to red sand, it holds its shape much better. If you dig away at this sand, it just fills itself back in. But the soil over there held burrows like the soil would out in the wild that these guys live in and build their burrows in the wild. And we move up here, just like in Misty's enclosure, the water monitor. We've got basking platform and into a nice hot box. Slash is only a small lizard. One heat light under there is sufficient for the time being. In the next few weeks, I'll be releasing another video of this enclosure. I want more sun coming in the morning. So the sun comes like that. So she's not getting enough in the morning. So I'm gonna be cutting out a window here, just like I've done on that side. And I think I'll cut more of the roof out there. And that's just gonna give her a lot more sun. She's already got a lot of hidey holes, a lot of shade where she can get away from me when and if she needs to, or away from the sun anyway. But now she's got a gut full. She will spend the rest of the afternoon laying in this beautiful 30-degree heat. And there she is, laying under a bottle brush. Alrighty, that's two down. Onto our last lizard, the lace monitor. An animal that anyone lives on the east coast of Australia should be very familiar with. Apex predator, huge goanna. Males can grow up to 6 foot and they are an absolutely beautiful lizard. For Treeko, our young male, he's between 6, it's probably about 8 to 9 months now, and we've got some chicks for him and some quail eggs. I'll probably chuck some eggs in with Misty at the end if you guys hang around. In here is Treeko, my lace monitor's enclosure. Like I was saying, these guys are all up the east coast of Australia. They are tree specialists. Some people call them a tree goanna. They're a lace monitor. As you can see, just while this guy's young, we've got a nice tall enclosure. We've got lots of branches to climb. We've got a basking spot up there under our heat light. We've got hollow logs there. He used to sleep in that when he was younger, but he's getting a bit big now. Another hollow log up here, water bowl. Another hide down there, which he absolutely loves. I'm also going to be bringing out a pure Treeko video in the next few weeks. This lizard's getting big, which you'll see once he comes out for his chick. He's going to go berserk for it. But I need to put a second basking bulb here. Instead of this slanted platform, we're going to build a flat one. Because he's getting larger, we want the same heat surface area all over the length of his body. So if we have a heat lamp there, flat basking surface, that is going to be perfect. Once he outgrows that, which isn't going to be too long, he'll be in an aviary outside like the rest of them. You can see he's already sussing out. He's without a doubt my most intelligent lizard, and he is by far the youngest. These lace monitors, they're just on a complete and other level compared to some of our other lizards we got here in Australia. So with these guys spending a lot of the time in trees, they are bird specialists. They love to eat birds, bird eggs. They'll go into hollows, pull out bats, possums, whatever they can. These guys are opportunistic feeders. They're carnivorous. They'll eat carrion. They'll eat things that have been hit by cars on the side of the road. They do not give a damn what they eat. Top order, apex predator. Let's get some food into him. So we got our chick, our bird, and oh, he's already got eyes on it. I just showed him by accident. Whoops. But he knows what's going on. He knows he's about to get a feed, and he's going to come out of that hole at 1,000,000 miles an hour. And like I said with Misty, I like to give her a bird that's a little bit too big. These chicks are a little bit too big for him. So we're going to watch the process of him pushing it against things, ripping it, trying to get it down the gob. And yeah, he's about to come a bull out of a gate. Obviously weary with a camera in his face. It's not ideal, and with me talking in his face, but he ain't letting go of that chicken, that's for sure. I might just shut up and we'll watch. Okay, so he's actually made a bit of a liar out of me, and he's got that down much easier than I expected. He must be growing quicker than I thought. But yeah, normally they are a bit of a struggle to get down. You saw he got the head, the beak down the neck, and then the big bulge of the bum was just hanging out of his mouth, but he bloody got it down. That was impressive. Just like I say in all of my captive videos, lighting for these guys, you want your heat light, a visible light. I've got an LED batten up there, and UVB. You want UVB lights for every single one of your reptiles, nocturnal animals, pythons, geckos, varanids, dragons, every type of reptile. UVB, don't forget it. Alright, now seeing as he got that bird down so easily, I do have another one in the fridge, but I'll save that for him tomorrow. Might treat him with a younger bird. How can you get younger than a one-day chick? An egg. We'll give Treeko a couple eggs, watch him get those down, and then I'll take some eggs out to Misty too. She's a crack up. She's an absolute garbage guts with the eggs. She scoffs them down. It starts coming out her nostrils. Hopefully she's still hungry, but we'll get some for Treeko first. That's exactly what these guys will do in the wild. They will raid bird nests. If you're walking through the bush, you hear birds screaming. One, this guy's either climbing up their tree, walking along the ground, and they're dive bombing him, peppering him. Or two, he's at the nest. He's taking babies, he's taking eggs. And that's just what these guys do. That's what they're built for and what they're the absolute boss of. And I better give him this egg before he takes my finger instead. So gentle. So gentle. Oh, that squirted everywhere. Good job. Oh, that was a chicken. He's not fazed by the camera. Oh, she just bit onto the camera. She just latched onto the camera. That would have looked so good if she bit the lens, but she bit the bloody screen to the side here. Oh, you silly girl, or you silly boy, I should say. And how good we know 150% now, 200, 300, 1,000% that Treeko is a male. He popped these hemipenes today, and yeah, I wanted a male because I wanted a huge dragon, a huge lizard. Now the other thing which is fantastic with any reptiles you keep inside, especially in a big enclosure like this with real natural woods, wood roaches. In the US, I think you guys have dubia roaches, probably a similar thing. In Australia, we have wood roaches. And in here, you chuck them in here, and there's all little nooks and crannies, slits and holes all throughout the timbers. And these guys, they'll go and live through all that. And that gives this lizard enrichment. It gives the lizard something to do, to come and find these bugs, lick them, sniff them, use that tongue and Jacobson's organ to sniff them out of the cracks, to get them out, dig them out, and there is no better enrichment than that. He's probably getting pretty full. That's if these guys ever do get full, but I'll chuck some in. I'll chuck some in now. He may or may not start hunting them. Look at the garbage guts, got crap all over his face. But if not, I'll try and get some clips tomorrow and chuck them in just before the video gets released. But here we go, buddy. I told you they're never full. But anyway, he grabbed a couple then, but I chucked a lot more than a couple in. So they'll go in here. Over the next few days, he'll be able to sniff them out. He's full as bugger. I don't know why he's still eating. That's the thing with them being opportunistic feeders, scavengers. They'll just fill their absolute guts because sometimes they don't know when their next feed's going to be. They'll just eat and eat and eat till they can't eat anymore because that meal may have to last them 1 week, 2 weeks, a month. They don't know. Fill those bellies as much as they can. We'll chuck his glass panels back in. He can hunt some woodies. We may have another look at him tomorrow, but let's take some eggs out to Misty. Well, that answers that question. She wanted the egg, but she's taken it away. She doesn't like the camera. She's camera shy. Such a good looking lizard and she's camera shy. She's got self-confidence issues, this girl. Hopefully she'll sneak back over for another. I've got another 2 here. She'll get that one down and hopefully we can get some more into her. You're pretty, girly, you don't have to worry. Nah, she's being camera shy. That's all right, might be able to get some, don't want to put my fingers in there. Might be able to get some into her tomorrow, depending how this editing goes. I've got a bit of time to flick this video together. But let me know what you guys thought of this video. I know a lot of people on my channel tend to enjoy the captive side of things, so I do need to put some more out about this stuff. So I thought a feeding video would be good. We got enclosure videos coming out soon. We're upgrading Misties, doing some stuff to Slashes and Treekos, and to be honest, I'm getting a bit of an itch. I want another animal. Rosenberg, Panoptes. Chuck some suggestions out there. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one.